Can you help us determine a stage versus a turning point?
Yeah, basically it's just a stage is a sequence of events in the story. It covers a span of time. A turning point is a single event that happens to the hero. So a stage would be, we meet the hero, we see her living her everyday life, we maybe meet the villain in the piece, we meet other characters, her best friend, something like that. Or in stage 2, she arrives at this new job, if that's her new situation. We meet the boss, she has some problems, she has coworkers, she meets the guy who's going to be the romance character or the love interest. Those are stages, they are sequences of events. But the opportunity is going to be a single event that happens to her, such as in that example I just made up, the opportunity would be she gets the new job. Okay? Or the change of plans would be she is told she can have a promotion if she can design a new house for a billionaire. And so her goal in the movie becomes to design a house for a billionaire. By the way, I'm making these up. That's why that would be a terrible movie. So don't, I'm not giving anyone listening to this, don't take that as an example of a good idea you should pursue. I shouldn't make stuff up, off the top of my head. Let's take an example from a real movie. One of my favorites this year, Jason Bourne. Okay, stage 1, we see him. He's down in Turkey, I think, or the border of Turkey. He earns money by getting into fights and knocking these brutish guys out. He's obviously unhappy, and we see that he's just sort of stuck in this identity of a guy who has no home and no connection and no real identity in the traditional sense. He doesn't really know who he is. Is he Jason Bourne, or is he really the guy who became Jason Bourne, or so on? So all of that is a sequence. It's a whole series of events. That's a stage. And we cut away from him during that stage and see the Julia Stiles character as she breaks into this facility that the CIA runs, or NSA, or whatever it is, and she steals these things and we don't know why. That's a stage. It's a whole lot of scenes strung together. The opportunity is a single event. He's in this fight and he sees she shows up in his life and is coming to him, and now he's in a new situation. What am I going to do now that this woman from my past, who knows the truth of who I am, who I apparently had an affair with once before I lost my memory and so on, what am I going to do? And so now it's a new sequence of events. She tells him what's going on. They have to go on the run from a guy. She has to give him the flash drive, etc. And we see new villains, and we see what's going on at the NSA as they try and stop him. So again, a stage is a sequence of events. A turning point is a single event that happens to the hero.